We're back. Look at that. Here we are once again for our Friday Field Report. I believe this is the first one of the year. That's right, right?
It is. Happy New Year to everybody who's tuning in from all over the world. Happy New Year to you, Will.
Happy New Year to you, Vicky. So you may notice I am, in fact, not in the field today. That is because the neighbor's chicken is currently short-circuiting, and I don't think that all of our viewers want to hear nonstop for the entire broadcast. So I decided to come inside, and I'm looking out at the field.
Well, you'll have to send us a picture. I'm picturing like the broken chicken from Moana.
Yeah,
as like your totally next door neighbor.
I've nicknamed that chicken Hey Hey. Like it's just broken. The chicken is broken.
Well, hey, I wanted to ask, besides your broken chicken, do you make any New Year's resolutions this year?
I resolved not to make New Year's resolutions, so I'm successfully upholding that resolution.
Okay. So you stuck to it.
Make some?
Same. I did not make any New Year's resolutions either.
It's the best resolution to make.
I did make.
That way you.
I did make a commitment though.
Failure. Yeah. Would you make a commitment for?
Yeah, I did set a goal for myself though. I don't know if it's the same thing as a resolution, but yeah, I committed that I'm going to sign up for a half marathon and kill it this year. I don't know when, but if anybody has any good half marathons or good races that they can recommend, let me know because I'm shopping. I'm shopping around.
I will come and cheer you on from the sidelines.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So we have a lot going on, right? I mean, there's everything going on, both in ConnectWise and the community, and just like a lot of fun things coming up. So I kind of want to kick us off and talk a little bit about the return of Automation Nation. Like, exciting, right? So
it is.
Automation Nation,
and it's
go for it.
It's happening in just a few weeks.
Yeah, like it's coming up really quickly. We've actually got 2 distinct sessions at Automation Nation, which is really cool. So they're both going to be very intensive on, hands-on training. We're going to be doing a lot focusing on automation and hyper automation and how to really get the most out of everything. So we've got the first session's February 5th and 6th. Second session is February 8th and 9th at our global headquarters in Tampa, Florida, which is going to be awesome to have people in the office. I can't wait to see partners hanging out in the office, seeing what we've got going on downtown. And really, downtown Tampa is a cool place. But as we're going through it, we're going to be talking about, like being able to pull audible, like actionable automation insights, being able to talk about hyper automation strategies. We're doing hands-on workshops where we're talking about like, hey, build your own workflows, being able to talk about getting the most out of a lot of the automation solutions that we have available here at ConnectWise. So it's really going to be that hands-on, very intensive. You're going to be right there with our product team, right there with our subject matter experts. So it's a great place to give a lot of feedback, great place to learn a lot. So, if you're interested, actually.
Yes. I think there's a free pass that we may be giving away today.
Yeah.
Possibly.
If you guys are interested in coming, we will be giving away a free pass to Automation Nation. Go ahead and put something in the comments saying that you're interested, and we'll pull one winner from the comments to give a free pass Automation Nation for, which will be really cool because that way you can come, you'll have to get yourself here and whatnot, but you will have a free pass right to all of the great stuff we're doing at Automation Nation. So go ahead.
There's also a caveat. There's a caveat to that too. When you're putting your comment in, make sure that you're telling us how you're using automation to increase your efficiency and enhancing your workflows within your business. And we will pick hopefully one of those lucky winners to join us in Tampa in a few weeks.
That'd be awesome. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah. I was going to say you're going to be there, right?
I will probably be around everywhere there. So feel free to come by, say hi if you're going to Automation Nation. Would love to talk to you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I know that, well, I will not be at Automation Nation, unfortunately, but I will be right across the road in downtown Tampa at our revenue kickoff. So I'll be there. Actually, technically, no, I will be there. I'll be at headquarters for one of the days during Automation Nation. So maybe I'll pop in and say hello. I know there's going to be a solutions pavilion that we have set up in our lunchroom, right?
Yeah,
it's a really big break room. Yeah, there's a lot of cool
nice break room too.
Video games and all that stuff, like a little arcade that we have set up.
It's fun.
So, yeah. And then IT Nation Evolve is happening in St. Pete, and we're going to have some really special guests that are going to be joining us too, I believe, at some of these events that are happening in Tampa during that week. So. I know we're looking at bringing Microsoft in to come and join us in person, and again some other vendors as well. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely, it is going to be just a ton of activity in the Tampa Bay area, thanks to ConnectWise coming up. So it's going to be super cool. If you haven't registered, you're running out of time. So go ahead and register. And again, if you want a chance at a free pass, go ahead and put something in the comments, and we'll pick a winner. And hopefully get to see you here. So what else is going on in the world of community, Vicky? I know there's some other cool stuff we're doing, right?
Yes, there is. Yeah, so Ride a Boom, which is it's a wonderful event, a cybersecurity event that's taking place in Vegas. It's in March, at the beginning of March. So if you haven't signed up for it yet, it is a great thought leadership conference. It's from March 6th through the 8th. And Drew Sanford, who heads up our SOC here at ConnectWise, he is going to be there doing a pre-day event on March 6th. And the title of his session is Unveiling the Hidden Threats Under the Iceberg of Cybersecurity. And so essentially it's really kind of figuring out, it's really, again, because he works hand in hand with the SOC, and because he and Jay Ryerson were the founders of Carver, right, which was part of the Continuum family when the acquisition through ConnectWise happened. I mean, he has lived it, he's breathed it, and it's going to be a session on best practices to consider, in keeping your clients' environment safe, and how to make sure that you're building out the best response team when when there's a potential issue that is occurring. So anyways, make sure you join Drew for that pre-day session, and then also make sure you come to that. If you haven't watched Andrew Morgan's the Monday Cyber Call, there's a lot of great guest speakers that he brings on to that event, and they'd been running that for a few years, and then Ride a Boom was kind of like the coup de grace, I guess, of all of the content and thought leadership that they were creating on those Monday cyber calls. So should be a great time. Yeah.
And if you've never been to one of Drew's presentations, he's an awesome guy. Like, Drew is, every time he and I chat, I'm just like, I learned so much, and I realize how little I do know. So one of the smartest guys ever. So it'll be a great session. Now,
so hey, I'm wearing this hat. I don't know if anybody knows what this logo is. Yeah.
So let's
I just want to say that I did legitimately buy this.
Yeah.
Good.
So, gotta support.
I did buy this merch from the MSPGeek merch store, but we have a special guest on today, right?
Yeah, we do. Let's go ahead and bring on one of my favorite people, Kyle Spooner. Hi, Kyle.
Hi. How are both of you?
Great, man.
Doing great.
How are you in your orange suit?
I'm here as MSPGeek, so I figured I could dress the part.
Love it.
Right?
You're looking quite dapper, my friend.
Thank you. You are too, with that hat. The nonprofit appreciates your support and purchasing our merch. Absolutely.
So we're talking about MSP GeekCon, which is it'll be coming up soon enough, right?
Yep. May 19th through the 21st, and it is our second conference ever, and it's super excited to be leading this one as well. we love education, and that's all what our conference is. So we took a lot of inspiration from great conferences like IT Nation, Right of Boom, and put it together towards our audience. And it's super exciting to be able to put it on again.
Yeah, let's talk about your audience, man. Tell us a little bit about the people who, in your opinion, are going to get the most out of MSP GeekCon. Like, what are we targeting with this?
So our primary audience is technicians, those in the MSPs who don't generally get to go to these fantastic events. Service managers, technicians, project engineers, security engineers, all of those are our audience. We awesome. Have a lot of business owners who also come, but they're generally from smaller MSPs, so they wear many hats. But that's who we target, because that's who we feel like we need to educate. Business owners get a lot of education from a lot of events in a lot of areas, but no one really focuses on those the majority of those who are at the MSP and do all the grunt work a lot of times. So we want to make sure that they get some education and they get some benefits as well.
That's awesome, man. Like that's,
yeah,
being able to upskill the team that's actually doing the work in the way that's on the team that's on the floor. It's like super important. So I love that you guys are putting this on.
I was gonna. Do you mind if I ask a question real quick?
Please do.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, one of the things I thought was really cool last year, Kyle, that I think you kind of mentioned on LinkedIn before, was that a lot of the audience that came last year to the event, that was their first time ever coming to an event before in the MSP space, right? And can you tell us a little bit about why you think that was the case?
Well, it goes back to those, the conferences cater to a specific group of attendee, right? There's a whole lot of stuff. I could probably spend hours and hours on conference planning now that I've had to do it once or twice. But so that the attendee itself is targeted. So, like an IT Nation Secure is targeting the those who in the security space and those executives in that area, and IT Nation Connect is targeting the business owners and the high-end executives to help make them better MSPs. We are doing the same thing, but those who work in the MSP space. And I believe it was like 54% had never been to a conference before of our audience, which was amazing. It is something that we wear as a pride pin with that. I mean, we had to do a lot of education to make sure that they understood how conferences work, because not everyone completely understands how they operate generally after all the sessions are done. So we had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, we wanted to make sure that the education we provide and the sessions that we pick are appropriate for our audience. And we actually split up how we do our sessions. We have what we call our core sessions, and then we have our standard breakout sessions. So our core sessions are something that we, as the volunteer team, have decided we want to talk about. We have 6 of them. We had 6 last year. We're going to keep that same number this year. And we pick the topic. And then we go and find someone who we feel comfortable, who can speak on that topic and convey that to our audience. It's very important that they can do both. And we actually go through a list of people, and we ask, friends, advisors, associates, and we interview basically those speakers. And that's our core sessions, which is we've done all of the grunt work and hard work to make sure that we're providing the education we want to. And then we have a volunteer group that select our speakers, which as someone who's now planning a second conference, I do not envy anyone having to select out of the myriad of talks that gets submitted these days.
Always fun times, right? So what would you say if there was one thing that you wanted people to take away from coming to MSP GeekCon? What would you say is probably the most important thing for them to engage with, to remember as they're both interacting there and as they're leaving?
That's a good question. It's a hard one to answer because there's so many things that I want to point out.
Well, let's start pointing, man.
Love it. MSP Geek itself is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The conference itself is designed around making sure that we educate. That is the only reason we're doing this, is to provide education. So, and in doing that, we're taking the core values that we built the community on and applying it to our conference. So network, talk, have conversations, explore other ideas, learn, grow, and adapt. That's the only thing we can ask you to take away, is just learn, grow, and adapt, because the only reason why we exist is to make the MSP space better. That is the only reason why we continue to do what we do. But we formed a 501c3 specifically so we can continue to do that. The MSP space is massive. And it's, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of education surrounding, like there's just not a whole lot of like doing this before. So if we can make any MSP better, we've accomplished our mission for the day. So that's our ultimate goal.
That's very cool. Do you think that was the catalyst for creating MSP GeekCon, like out of the MSP Geek community?
That was definitely part of it. The other part of it is there's a lack of education for our audience. Automation Nation was the only conference that really focused on the technical individual. And it focused on the automate and the lab tech aspects but a lot of the skills and stuff you could take and apply elsewhere. So with you guys redoing that, it's fantastic. I'm super excited about that. But that was one of the catalysts, is you were reworking that, and we wanted to make sure that we can take what we're doing and apply it to the MSP.
That's awesome, man. So I know, it's coming up. And do you have any cool announcements or anything you wanna dig into that you wanna talk about while we're here? I mean, I know you have lots you want to talk about, but any fun things you want to talk about? Yeah.
So we have early bird pricing. It ends at the end of this month, so it ends the 31st. So for $3.99, you can get tickets to come. Our call for speakers is actually still happening. If you're interested in speaking, we will take anyone, as long as it's educational. You can be a vendor, you can be a consultant or an MSP. As long as your topic's not a sales pitch or not anything like that, we're open to listening to what you have to say, and it could get selected. So for anyone interested in doing that, that ends the 31st as well. But I'm happy to break the news about our first course session speakers.
Let's do it.
So please.
Some people may know this individual, but he's going to be speaking on the body, the health of yourself as the individual. And that's something that not a lot of people get to have. And it's honestly super excited to have him speak. Jason Slagle is going to be one of our first main stage speakers. He and his trainer will be doing a co-talk about making yourself better. And Jason, for those who haven't know, has gone through a remarkable journey. He's worked close with his trainer to make sure that he's following what he needs to do. But he's doing amazing things, and it's super awesome to have him speak.
That's been an amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Yeah, he's had a great transformation, and I would have to say that, like, I think that the support of the community and holding him accountable and the others that have been on that journey accountable has been really cool to see. So Tom Lawrence, is it going to be Tom and
it's Jason and Ben Canning? I don't think I've ever pronounced his last name out loud before. So Jason and his trainer Ben are going to be doing the talk.
Okay. Oh, okay, got it.
They're going to be talking about celebrating your health and yourself, your physical health and your mental health.
That's awesome. I mean, look, without your physical and mental health, it's really hard to get things done. So, I think it's a great topic to talk about and focus on. I think it's something that a lot of us wind up overlooking.
Yeah, or may not realize. John Hammond did talk last year for us on a similar topic, talking about imposter syndrome and how he deals with it, and how, because for those who don't know who John Hammond is, I'm not referring to the Jurassic Park owner. I'm referring to a gentleman who is a YouTube celebrity at this point. He's got over 1 million subscribers, and he works at Huntress. He's deep into security and very smart, knowledgeable human being. And it's interesting to hear someone at that level of, someone you could easily admire and probably put your full trust into for your social security number and your driver's license and feel comfortable doing that. But listen, interesting to hear him speak about how he deals with something that everyone deals with, and it's great that we put a focus on that, and other conferences are putting a focus on that, and it's not something that's talked about a lot. So we want to make sure that we
that is a really good one. I've definitely had some episodes of imposter syndrome recently, especially when Will and I got to go on main stage at IT Nation Connect. But everybody, it's okay to normalize it, because to your point, and probably what he'll be talking about, or what he talked about last year, is that everybody feels it. It's just you're not seeing that on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely there on the inside.
Yep.
So that's cool. Well, what are you most looking forward to, Kyle? MSPGeek
it ending. A lot of work and a lot of time goes into planning these things, and when it's over, seeing the feedback and seeing the light bulbs turn on, and having that interaction with those who are able to provide feedback, the good and the bad. We took a lot of that last year, and it's really good to see and talk to people who had went to the conference and want to have an opinion and share that opinion, because feedback's very important. I don't claim to be an expert in MSPs, communities, or conferences. And if I can do something to make things better, I'm going to do my best. So, having it over and being able to see all the education happen, and being able to get that feedback and share conversations is always great.
That's awesome, man. So talking about feedback, I know this is year 2 for MSPGeek Con. What's some of the feedback that you guys received last year that you're most excited to implement this year? Or is there any particular one?
We got a lot. I think the most fun one is we're going to be serving breakfast on Monday morning, which we didn't last year. Food is very expensive at a hotel, and at nonprofit organization. I'm not in this for the money, so to make sure that we were under budget, we decided to cut that for Monday, and we're bringing that back. Very important feedback, but there's a lot of things. I think the agenda itself is probably one of the things that was talked about. Everyone felt it was a little cramped, so we've expanded that a little bit and provided a couple of cool new things that will. Oh, looks like my camera happened to go away. It's fine. And so we've expanded the agenda and spread it out a little bit to allow for people to have a much more relaxed time getting from point A to point B. So
that's good. I was going to say, you can't learn on an empty stomach anyways, so that was good. Giving people time to get to their sessions. So awesome. Well, Kyle, thanks for joining us today. For those of you who are tuning in, if you have not registered for MSP GeekCon, make sure to do it. And if you haven't joined the MSP Geek community, we definitely need to put a link in the comments so that way you can get engaged and involved, because it's a great community. Will, you work closely with the community as well through ConnectWise. So anything else you'd leave with our listeners here?
But I mean, if you're not part of the MSP Geek community, you should join it. Like, there's a ton of great information you can find throughout all of the different channels, all of the different forums, and everyone's really responsive and helpful. So it's really cool to see just like everyone coming together with this. Kyle, anything you want to add to that?
A couple of things. I usually lead with it's free for everyone to come and hang out.
Hey, there you
go. But everyone's there to help everyone. So if you have a question or you have a concern, feel free to come ask. There's probably someone to help you. Vendors are there and are like Will's there. ConnectWise has a lot of staff present and enjoys hanging out with us. So if you want to come hang, please do. It's mspgeek.org is the website. Feel free to come hang out.
All right. Awesome. Oh, and guess what, guys? We have a winner for the free Automation Nation Pass.
I love it.
Should we do a drum roll? No, can't do a drum roll out in the field. Thanks, Will. So, Bassam Al-Baziri, congratulations. We will be seeing you at Automation Nation in a few weeks with your free fancy schmancy ConnectWise Pass.
Fantastic. Yep, we'll be reaching out to get some details, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody. Does anybody have anything else they want to add before we wrap it up for today?
You guys are fantastic and awesome.
You're fantastic and awesome. So keep it up.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming to join us, Kyle. And hopefully we can see you or some of the awesome other members of the MSP Geek leadership community leading up to the event. So we'll make sure to plan that and have some other exciting content to share with our viewers. And make sure you stay tuned for next Friday, because Will and I have some more special guests that are going to be joining us from the MSP community.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be great, so you don't want to miss it. Till then, everybody.
Yes.
Stay classy. We'll see you next week.
Bye.